Absolutely. I'll tell you a quick story. I had an interview with a young man, and this in a way jumps into the next topic is past behavior is the best predictor of future performance. Skills is the first one. You want to generate a big list, so you look at your technical skills, you look at your ambient skills, environmental skills, and you look at your generic skills. And in the interviewing process, how am I going to forecast how someone is in the future? I got to look at their past behavior. How do they do in the past? And you mentioned that in the very beginning. I always ask a question about initiative because they either have it or they don't. And they can talk about it or they can't. And I'm going to ask them very specifically, not like, how would you handle this in the future? That's motherhood and apple pie. I'm going to say, how did you handle it in the past? So my question to this young interviewee was, give me an example from your past where you took initiative, where the boss didn't tell you what was needed, but you saw a need and you took action. So the guy looks at me and he goes, initiative, initiative. I'm watching the sweat start to form on the brow. Initiative. Then he says to me, yeah, yeah, yeah. 2 years ago, I had this. Exactly. So, you know what my next question was, Brad? Give me another example.
Wow.
I'm getting goosebumps again.
That
So I said to the young man, well, all right, that's a good example. Give me another one. I was patient, I was polite while he squirmed and came with no answer. And I said, all right, let's move on. I already wrote him off. I finished the interview in a professional way, but he was never going to work for me. That's a generic skill initiative that ought to be on your list. And you better have some stories if you have them. If not, think harder. A few